I will give you all these things if you bow down and worship me. Does that sound a bit familiar? There are many ways of adoring the devil. An idol can have many forms. It can, of course, be human. One can make of a god a lover. One can also make Mammon a god. One can also make the glory of this world something so important that it is center stage, and the quality of one's interior is sacrificed. It's more of the same thing, bowing down. Nowadays, the devil is more free than ever to take in souls. Faith is weak, and when there is no defense, there is a weak immune system, and even from an early age, souls are being exposed to demons with very little defense, beginning, alas, now with the little ones, already addicted to virtuality at the age of 2 or 3. What hope? As it happens, yesterday I bumped into someone I knew well, who had been all his life faithful to his practice, but calmly came out with this, that since the COVID he had stopped going regularly. His wife was still going, and his grandchild actually was taking his wife. But what has happened there? It's easy to see how it can happen. If all one's free time is given to passive absorption of messages virtually against the faith, the consequences follow. It's a progressive brainwashing, and the devil is clever in using these pulpits to proclaim his message with subtle conviction, in such a way that the norm is his norm, and that what matters is cancelled from the equation. I have heard from fellow priests that the church now is being used, for instance, for funerals and weddings, set up in a way which is profane. When people are mourning, priests tend to be gentle and not upset the apple cart, but people can be insistent. Maybe there would be a point at which a priest would be justified in saying, if this is your desire for this celebration, then go ahead. I am not needed. All this is an extension of the same. God doesn't really have any authority. He has, as we would say, no clout. Man reigns. And we saw actually recently what happened when in Hollywood there were public manifestations belittling God. And it seems that his protection was withdrawn when those fires broke out. And a few spectacular exceptions came to the fore, where God was honoured and the fire didn't touch them or their property. Pure coincidence, of course. Also, not long ago here in Ireland, when somebody was appropriating the Blessed Sacrament for his own ends, the Blessed Sacrament jumped out of his hand and was suspended in the air and returned to the ciborium on the altar. We do not defend him anymore. The angels have to step in. Also, when hosts fall to the ground, we have noticed that there is an increasing number of intervention from on high. When these dissolved hosts do not dissolve, but become bleeding hosts, reminding us that every host is truly the Lord. And also perhaps that he doesn't like to be so easily given out, handled by unconsecrated hands, put in water, and so on. This, our greatest treasure upon earth, so casually used and abused. The devil really exists. He hates God, and he hates him to the maximum, in the maximum that we have on earth. And so that is where maximally he attacks. Bring down the church, the sacrament of the salvation of humankind. And he's got souls. Let us be aware who and what is at work and act accordingly. Corpus natum de Maria Virgine, summa immolatum in cruce promine, cuius lotus perforatum fluxit aquae